What's going on, everybody? So goals, setting goals and achieving goals, it can be very easy to become disillusioned with the process of identifying a goal and working towards that goal and seeing it through to completion. I certainly have set many goals in my life and have failed on achieving many goals in my life as well. And it's been frustrating. It's been oftentimes difficult to return to the process because I know that from past experience I haven't been very successful at achieving goals. I have achieved a few goals, but it pales in comparison to the number of goals that I've set. And I imagine many of you have had the same kinds of problems, and maybe many of you have given up on the whole process of setting goals and working towards them entirely. I found a really nice approach to goal setting, which is to simplify it right down. Whenever we come across complication in life, which is often what surrounds goals, we often fail at reaching goals because we make things harder for ourselves. And we make things harder for ourselves, and I have made it harder for myself through many variables. One big one is obviously setting too many. I get overexcited and I try to do more than I can feasibly handle in my own mind, and I end up kind of jumping off the wagon and just getting overwhelmed with the sheer variety of tasks that any one of these goals comprises. And if I'm setting up multiple targets, it becomes very difficult. So certainly creating lots of goals and lots of activities for ourselves can be overwhelming, and we can end up giving up sooner. And that's the one that I want to address today is, can we use that? Can we use our shared experience of suffering through giving ourselves too much to do as a solution? How can we use that as a way to find a solution? Well, the obvious one for me that I want to bring forward for this video is simplifying it right down. How can we simplify our goal creation process? And what if we were to ask the question, what is the one thing that I will accomplish within the next 6 months? 6 months is a good stretch of time for the accomplishment of many types of targets. Obviously, it depends on what you're setting your mind towards. But 6 months is great for something like a book or a course that you're creating, or some kind of a project that you're working on, or a community that you're building, whatever it is. 6 months tends to be a really good stretch of time within which to achieve a lot. So let's give ourselves 6 months and let's focus on the one thing. Let's prioritize of all the things that we could do. Let's bring to our mind, to our vision, what's the one thing, if I were to complete it within 6 months, that would be really life-changing and would really bring a lot to my life. And that's really what I want to kind of remind you guys of, is the power of is boiling it right down to one thing. That doesn't mean that you need to rule out all the other things that you want to achieve within that time frame. You can have those as secondary goals, but what I call the kind of apex goal needs to be the thing that you continually remind yourself of and come back to again and again. And that's where a lot of the problem lies, is that we have all these ideas of different things we could be doing, and we end up losing our focus. And what a goal requires for its attainment is a kind of almost obsessive, unreasonably over the top attention to that goal day after day after day. And it's a lot easier to maintain your attention on a single target, which is what is required of you to achieve the goal, when there's fewer of them and it's more obvious what it is, and there's continual daily clarity, continual daily light shone on that goal, with as much clarity and detail on what exactly that goal entails is. So I will leave it to you to come up with the breakdown of the goal itself and what the details are and the various tasks that goal is comprised of. But for the purpose of this video, just wanted to kind of bring your attention to just the power of going really simple and giving yourself a good 6 months, maybe longer, to focus on that one thing that requires daily action from you, even if it's a tiny little thing that you do every day to accumulate towards that goal. That could be really powerful for you. And I have to admit, I have never really made use of that strategy. I have achieved goals in the past, but I've never made it I've never made it a point to obsessively focus on that one goal above all else. I mean, I've considered it as a thing, but I've always ended up kind of allowing myself to take on too much. And this time I'm focused on creating a course and a book, sort of a course book package that I'm looking to create within 6 months. That's my 6-month target. That's the one priority goal, and I'm gonna do it no matter what. Like, this is a real commitment. This is coming from a place of really strong commitment in the goal, in myself, in what I need to do to make that goal happen. And it might require, for some of us, to rule out a lot of other stuff in our lives. It might mean 6 months of solitude, 6 months of turning down social occasions and girlfriends and things like that, and just getting really, really obsessed with this thing. Think about what it is that your life needs most right now. I imagine for many of you, it's you know, a foundational income, something like that, or a community or an audience that you're building, or getting your social media to a certain number of subscribers, whatever it is. Give yourself the luxury of clarity and obsessive attention to singularity of focus. That'd be a good title for a book. Obsessively compulsive attention to focus. That's it. That's the main point. What's going to happen to you in your life, and what you commit to every day when you say to yourself, what's the one thing that I will accomplish in the next 6 months, and I will bring my singularity of focus to. What is that thing? If I had to choose just the one goal, and maybe I could be really unreasonable and say that is literally the only thing I'm going to be working on for the next 6 months. Imagine that. That is literally the only thing I'm going to be working on. If you have the luxury of being able to do that, I commend you if you do. But imagine what could change. Imagine what's in store for you if you are able to bring 6 months of total attention without deviating, without distracting yourself, without procrastinating. Imagine what's possible. What's the one thing? Do share it in the comments below. Keen to hear your strategies, guys. Hope that helped. Take care.